El-Rufai'S son, Bashir, apologizes to Vice President Shettima for calling him spineless. Okay. Bashir, son of Nasir El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna, has issued a public apology to Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima, following backlash over a controversial social media post he made in earlier March. In a message shared on X, Bashir admitted that his earlier comment about the Vice President was inappropriate. He described the post as reckless and expressed regret for referring to Shettima in a disrespectful manner. He also stated that he holds the Vice President in high regard and respect him. You respect him, you regard him, but you now call him spineless. Now, wow, even if he's not, he's old enough now to be your father. He wrote, "I want to use this medium to personally apologize to the Vice President of Nigeria, His Excellency Sir Kashim Shettima, for my old post. Referring to him as spineless is someone I greatly admire and respect." The apology comes weeks after Bashir made a now deleted post on March 6, 2026, criticizing Shettima and describing him as lacking courage. In that post, he had urged the Vice President to take strong action against what he alleged to be corruption within the presidential villa. I like Shettima, he's just painfully spineless. I hope one day he realizes he is positioned in a unique place and ability to take the whole corrupt criminal family system at the villa down. He has the leverage. To be honest, he wrote, I don't know if he has leverage, but really, if that's the spineless he's saying, like that's in the context, he's saying that the Vice President is spineless, like he doesn't have courage. I think he's actually not lying, because I've not seen other Vice Presidents, so it's almost like as if they're not doing anything. But this one, like, you're not even seeing him. We don't have Vice President. Sheyi Tinubu is our Vice President because he's the one you are seeing everywhere. You're not seeing Shettima anyway. Like, do we have a Vice President? At least we see they say Oshibadjo small. They see him, they work, at least they will appoint him, go and do this, go and do that. This Vice President, nothing. Like, he's nowhere to be found. Kokoroye says, but he is. He is. Alaku says, go to 3 national dailies newspaper, national TV, national radio, and write to him officially. The office of VP is not made for social media talks. Proactive police in this case is needed most. Police, they play. Still says, like father like son, it is your father that puts himself into problem because of misplacement of thoughts and lack of mouth control. Nobody is above the law. Bold idea says, talking anyhow like his father. Shettima, your age mates. Bloody idiot. Shari says, it's just like father, just arrogant. John Tao says, no respect for elderly, no fear of God. Benedict says, why now do you regret? Now, did you turn brave within the time, or were you in a kind of state? Melky says, how can this be possible in Nigeria, rich in culture and respect? I deny this on behalf of that Peking. The guy no chop rich grass now, or except his madness just started. Rasa says, how do El-Rufai family look like bandits? Lola says, like father, like son. Jesse says, giraffe next son. Why apologize? Because it's your brother. Chukwuka says, Mumu boy, wasted spam. Wasted spam as well now. See the other just says, nice one. That is why it is better to listen more than speaking much to avoid mistakes. Okay. I just said, I said the boy no dey chop. Chuku Majike says, thank God he has apologized, which is a good thing to do. Nobody is perfect. We correct ourselves whenever we do wrong. Okay? David Aboti says, you and your father be thinking well before talking. Words are very, very powerful. David Ayeni says, spoiled bright, like father, like son, with mouth cancer, talking to an elder anyhow. Odu Shafia says, they are not well trained. Okay? Yes, man says, look at this Osofia neck. Your position should not deceive you. Bati Peter says, your thought of him has been poured out. The apology comes after the damage. An African proverb says, the pulling of an old man's testicle is not a mistake, but a deliberate act because of its length. Hey, we. Now, wow. That one says, na proverb. Informer says, it's good to apologize, but it's shameful that in Nigeria, once your family member is voted you become automatically voted too or imposed on the public. I'm telling you. I'm telling you because I think he's also in the House of Rep, this El-Rufai'S son. And from the backstage, you do all rubbish to gain cheap popularity. At least you have known through all your speeches from behind the curtain that someone like you exists. You can also equally boldly tell your friends that you are a politician in Nigeria. Atedbury says, I thought they said Northerners have respect. This is a snake. Lion cannot give birth to a goat. Okon Sunday said, now you've taken the footsteps of your father by talking anyhow, insulting people as you like, as if you and your dad are the owners of Nigeria. Why did you apologize? So that you see yourself where your dad was. Learn to be wise and always stay out of trouble or by respecting people that matters. Anthony says, old boy, you are clever by half. We know that your apology is an afterthought and not from your heart. Whether Shettima understands it or not, you have told him what you wanted. Chikena. Jeremiah says, you Mr. Long Neck Dinosaur, you are calling the Vice President spineless. I hate nonsense from nonsense people. Toka said, that's why it's always advisable to think before you react. Felix Agaga said, Aboki, you even worse than your father. Your attitude by this age will take you nowhere. Muslim fanatic has no God-fearing in their hearts. May Allah save you from pride. Okay, my listeners, don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.